Alright, hello. Just explaining a forearm circuit that I did August 15th, 2025. I kept the same weights and just did it for rounds. The only thing that I did change, the reps on the first movement I did were the same, and the last movement I did were the same, both 12 reps. I did change the reps on the wrist roller. That was because that is significantly harder. Um, I think this would have been more challenging had I changed the weights on the other two movements, but I didn't have a lot of time, so I kind of was looking to just get more of a just a burn, a quick burn, and I did. It was very, uh, what would you say? It was very effective in that manner. I did use the BFR bands, which are the blood flow restriction bands, um, and those help to get a workout, well, more of a workout in a short amount of time with lighter weights. You get a pump much quicker. The only thing is you want to make sure you set them correctly. So um, you don't want them to be too loose, but you also don't want them to be too tight. You can cause damage. You don't want to cut the blood flow off. You just want to restrict it slightly, just enough to you just get a bigger pump in a quicker amount of time. So if you do buy these, I do recommend researching them quite a bit before you use them to make sure you use them correctly. You don't want to leave them on too long, and you don't want them to be too tight. So do your research before you use these. And they're just a tool. They aren't needed. You don't need them to get an effective workout. So, but they are a tool and they are pretty effective. So, do your research, use them properly, and you'll be fine. Um, but that's what I did. And so, the first movement I did here was the 2-inch Napalm's Nightmare wrist rolls. These handles, they spin. So just see that they spin, and they're 2 inches. So nothing too complicated, just did a wrist roll. I did open my hand slightly. I find that when I do wrist curls in this motion, if I'm able to, I like to open the hand up slightly. I just find that it gives a better range of motion. There are handles that I can't do that on, like this one here. You can't really open your hand up with this 4-inch handle, so I didn't do that on this one because it's just so big anyways. So it kind of opens your hand up already. So I did not open my hand up on that one. That was the last movement I did. The movement that I did in the center was just the 2-inch wrist roll with the PVC pipe that I made. And that one I did 12 reps to start. The second round I did 10, then 8, then 6, then 4, then 2. I did that because I don't think I could have been able to do 12 reps or 12 rolls every single set. And I think it was a good call because by the end of this, my arms were burning pretty good. So I think that was a good rep scheme to use. I did alternate a front and back roll for the whole thing. So I do a like a back roll, then a front roll, and a back roll. Just alternating for each roll. So I did a total of 6 rounds. The weight that I used for the Napalm's Nightmare, the first movement, was only 25. I think I could have probably upped that each set and been fine. I do feel like that weight wasn't too challenging. So next time I'll probably look to add some weight to that, either each round or just use a heavier weight in general for the whole thing. Because that weight was not too bad. It wasn't too challenging at all. I would say the most challenging thing was the 2-inch wrist roll. The 4-inch handle, I think that weight was sufficient. Towards the end, that got pretty difficult. That one, it's going to work a combination of the fingers. along with the wrist. So the weight, I would say for that one was good enough. Um, Probably could have maybe went just a little bit heavier, but not much. I would say that was a pretty good challenge for that one. So all in all, I was happy with this routine. I did have plans to do something later in the evening, but I didn't get to. So I do feel like my forearms really don't, they feel a little bit sore, but nothing too crazy. So I think it was a decent workout. Probably, like I said, probably could have went a little heavier on the 2-inch Napalm's Nightmare forearm curls, but we'll do that next time. So if you have any questions, comments, or tips, leave them down below. Thanks for tuning in. We'll see you soon.